I was gonna say you froze for a second.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I want to get back. All right. Well, let me record. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelersSanctuary.com, and this is my co-host, David Korup. Dave, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
We are broadcasting live on YouTube as well. For those of you watching us there, welcome in. Dave, I've had it.
Yeah,
I've had it with the offense. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this
yeah,
anymore. I can't
I
watch
know,
this anymore.
I know, dude. I know.
10 points again this past week. Let's just go through some of the list of the horrendous stats this team is putting up. 16 points per game, 29th in the league. 271 yards per game, 31st in the league. A little under 15 first downs per game, 31st in the league. Time of possession, 32nd in the league. Yards per play, 4.6, 28th in the league. They have the longest active streak of non-400 yard games. It's like 45, I believe it's up to now.
Yeah,
And in the Matt Canada offensive coordinator era, they've scored 30 points 2 times. Once in the last 32 games, they've scored 30 points or more. Dave, if you or I did this bad in one section of our job and refused to change it, we'd be fired.
yeah,
Anybody on earth would be fired.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Tomlin comes
absolutely.
on again today. We'll get to his press conference in a minute, but he's blaming the players. He says the scripts are fine. It's not the coaching. Bro, I've had it. And I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think
I don't
I
blame him.
don't think he's the guy that's going to change it. I don't. What happens after this season? We have no idea about Kenny Pickett, what he can do. So he fires Matt Canada, hires Sullivan or the other guy, and it's another year of this crap. It's never going to get better. It's like we're at Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing every podcast, every game, every year. I can't do it anymore. I can't watch this team. It's so painful.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no, it's it's the worst we've ever seen. Like I don't ever remember a Steelers offense being this bad for so long ever. Like like
It's
look, as far as back as I can remember, like I don't remember. I mean, if you even think back to the old days of just run the football, right? Smash mouth football, tough
they were
defense.
much better offensively back then. Much
Back
better.
even back then, it was better offensively. Like you could still throw the ball a little bit and run the shit out of the ball. This here, but it's it is Matt Canada. Don't get me wrong, it's Matt Canada, but it's
Yeah.
not just Matt Canada.
No, it's layers. This team's bad
This
all over the
this is
place.
such a disaster because of the fact that on top of Canada, we have so many players that just aren't good enough, Dave. They're just not good enough. And when if you want to argue, oh yes, they are, okay, then they're not consistent enough. Is that better? Like, there's so many different words you can have, but in the end, they're just not it. You know, we got to face this kid this week. But I just watched Will Levis throw 4 touchdowns, throwing bombs, putting up tons of points with DeAndre Hopkins in his first game ever, Dave. Ever.
He
We
had
haven't
five.
seen nothing like that in 3 years.
He had 5 TDs. Kenny Pickett's got four. Well, he had 4 TDs.
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett has
yeah,
five on the season. I
yeah.
mean,
Like, you know, and look, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe Will Levis will suck from here on out. I don't know, but holy shit, that was quite the impressive thing to see. I watched after the Steelers game. I watched the 49ers Bengals.
yeah,
That
Bengals.
was two elite offenses ran like a machine, and it was incredible. It was just like God damn, like
Yeah,
I couldn't
Cincinnati's bad.
imagine, and then watching some of the throws that Purdy made, and then watching Joe Burrow now that he's healthy, and it's just like we will never be that. We will never be that. And
It's a
and
shame.
I and
It's
it
not while Mike Tomlin's the head coach. I really don't think there's so many layers to it because Kenny Pickett, and we'll get into the game. He was really bad. Like he made some bad throws. He was late on that Deontay Johnson play in the end zone.
Yep.
Deontay Johnson was wide open, and he
Wide
was
open.
late. I watched the quarterback school with JT O'Sullivan this past week, and he was picking up on the same things in the last game. With Kenny's late. He's not.
Yep.
He's not reading the plays. He's not delivering the ball on time. So he's bad. The offensive line, dude. There are times when teams do stunts or bring blitzes, they have no idea who they're supposed to block.
Yep.
I watched Najee Harris and Dan Moore block the same guy and watch a free runner at Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They're confused. They're not coached well. Pat Myers got to go right when and if Matt Canada ever goes.
Right.
Pat Myers got to go right with him. They got to stop from scratch again.
Yep. Drive to the airport together. Yep.
We took Isaac Seumalo, who was near a Pro Bowl guard in Philly, and he's freaking clueless now too. He's giving up free runners as well.
Yeah. Look.
And then Mike Tomlin gets in the press conference and acts like nothing's wrong.
Oh, well, no. Well, the press conference, he made out like the defense, the turnovers the defense got, well,
oh my God,
it wasn't to really flip the field for us, and it didn't really help our
turnovers
offense.
weren't good enough to save his offense.
The only reason why you were in the goddamn game for 3.5 quarters. Like,
now,
what are you talking about, dude? Get a clue. He does this shit on purpose, though, Dave. It's to protect Canada, protect whoever. It's fucking bullshit. And that's, he always does this. He goes after the defense, and it's like, dude, it's not the defense. That game, it could have easily been 35 to 7 or whatever, easily, if that defense doesn't make those turnovers.
Yep. And again, this defense is not perfect. They give up chunks of yardage like it's going out of style. But they come up with plays to keep the Steelers in the game every week.
Yep.
Regardless to how many, and I've criticized them for how many yards they give up, and there is flaws here.
Yes,
but they keep the Steelers in the game. I mean, they keep the Steelers in the game. It was, what, 9-6 at halftime? It was until they gave up that big play to Etienne later on in the game. They were right in that game.
Yeah, they were in the game. They only
gave up 20 points.
They were in the game.
I mean, let's go to Tomlin's press conference. Let's start there because he drives me fucking bananas. I'm sorry. The first point he made was actually a good point where he said they asked him about the refs and he's like, I want to get to a point where we're playing well enough where, bad calls don't hurt us as much as you. Yes, I agree with that 100%. It's a good point from Tomlin. Bitching about the refs in that game, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. That's not why they lost.
Well, the problem is that some of those calls are so egregious, dude. I just the call on the field goal was absolutely ridiculous. The roughing the passer on our guy when theirs that didn't get a call that injured Pickens was a no call. Those three right there were just absolutely ridiculous. But if your team gets good enough, yeah, it's true. I agree with Tom. You should be able to get above these calls and win. But when you're the Steelers that we currently see on this field right now, no, you can't afford to have those bad calls because look what happened. It snowballed on top of the bad play on both sides of the ball because yes, the defense did have those turnovers, but the defense also looked like trash after Minkah got taken out of the game.
Oh,
and it was because that secondary without Minkah is just
horrendous.
It's horrendous.
Just say it's horrendous.
Look, I thought they were going to start rolling out wheelchairs for Patrick Peterson and them to start rolling around in because that's how fucking slow they were. Like,
it's
like, dude, KZ, Keanu Neal, and Pat P, dude, they're done. Like, they cannot cover. They can't cover a speedy tight end or an elite tight end, if you will. They can't cover any wide receivers, whether it's the slot wide receiver or the two outside wide. They can't cover to save their life. They're too fucking slow. They can't do it anymore.
Throw Chin and Sullivan in that group too. He can't cover it.
Look, I give Kazi credit. He had the interception. That was great. That was huge. Great. But he also blew that coverage when Porter let Etienne go.
Yep.
KZ was supposed to be there, pick him up.
Angle he took was just so strange.
The angle was god awful, and that was why Etienne scored. And it can't happen. You can't let that happen.
Nope.
If anything, he should have been running over there to get in front of Etienne. That way, if he has to tackle him, he can tackle him. Like, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he started. I think he started to go for the pick, and then
he did. Yes,
I realized he couldn't get there.
I think he was going for the pick, and the moron didn't realize he had no shot at that. And off Etienne he goes, and that's basically the game.
Yep. Let's get back to the press conference. Did you notice Tomlin kind of was throwing some shade on Kenny Pickett there in the beginning when they asked him about the rough starts? He's like, well, if we hit that pass to Deontay over the middle, or if we hit that one to Pickens on the sideline, which was well overthrown, he was open.
Yeah.
And Kenny underthrew it and let the DB get back and knock it away. So maybe Tomlin's starting to lose his patience with Kenny Pickett finally. But, I mean, we saw the alternative. Mitch ain't it, bro. Mitch ain't it. He's pretty good coming off the bench, but he was terrible.
So here's the thing about Mitch Trubisky, okay? And just hear me out on this, because I was thinking about this.
Okay.
So the thing I love about Mitch Trubisky, and it's kind of funny, it's his legs.
Yeah, he is a good scrambler. Yep.
Look, his legs, now mind you, he has a rocket arm, but it's that with his legs is why he got drafted so high in the draft. Because when this guy runs, Dave, his running ability is up there with those top guys. Strictly running. So don't think I'm comparing him to the top guys. I'm not. I'm saying purely his legs. He is up there. You can tell when he runs, he is fast. He's just got great running capabilities.
And he's a big guy. He's a bigger guy,
he's a big dude, right? He's good on his feet. And he's got a rocket arm. But the man doesn't read defenses right, or he doesn't, like, he gets too confident and plays the danger game too much. Because on the pick, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it like 2nd and 3 or 3rd and 3? We didn't need a lot of yardage.
No, I don't remember the down, but I think you're right.
But Deontay had his guy covering him, was giving him, I swear, you couldn't even see the guy on the screen there. He was giving him like a 15-yard cushion. Where was the communication between him and Deontay? Like, hey, like, dude, let me do a button hook and get this first down for you. Like, it was there for the taking, Dave. Like, the first down was like, let me tell you this much. I watched Joe Burrow and Chase. I watched Purdy and the guy from the 49ers wide receiver.
Ayuk.
I watched those guys on those type of 3rd and 3, 2nd and 3, even 4th and 3. Dude, 10-yard, 15-yard cushion, guess what? I'm doing that button hook all day at hook route. I'm coming back, getting the ball for the first down with ease, Dave, with ease. What does Trubisky do? Tries to do this throw. Do you know he was thrown to Allen Robinson, by the way?
It's a triple coverage, dude.
You were trying to throw the ball to Allen Robinson with 3 guys forming a triangle around him.
It's a horrendous throw.
What are you doing?
That's a terrible decision.
Deontay Johnson and him had any communication with each other whatsoever. Literally, like, dude, it should have been an easy first down. Easy. I'm yelling, screaming at the TV. Deontay's wide open. Like, he's right, and nothing. Yes, I see him throw it, but as soon as he threw it, and I could tell it wasn't going to Deontay, my worst feeling came to life. I was like, this is a pick. And sure enough, it was a pick.
This is why Mitch Trubisky was the 2nd overall pick and has never done anything in the league. He's got $1 million physical attributes and a 10-cent head.
Yep,
he can't read defenses. He has no anticipation. He's got all the physical tools in the world, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen for him. He'll get hot and look good for a quarter or a series, but he's not that guy.
Because his touchdown drive was nice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He gets hot for a drive.
Yeah,
and even in that drive, dude, he threw it back across the field.
Yeah.
A lollipop that 9 times out of 10 is intercepted. He just got lucky. He just got lucky.
But he shows the ability, though, Dave.
He has all the ability.
Guess who I saw do it after him? I saw Brock Purdy do it yesterday, too. Yeah. And Joe Burrow make some nice plays like that. Like, look, good top quarterbacks can make plays like that. I've seen Patrick Mahomes make it 1,000 times.
Yeah, well,
But
he's not Patrick
all I'm
Mahomes.
saying is that if this man would just use that damn brain of his and look
It's
and
beyond
just
him, man.
see that there's, you can't throw it to Allen. And why we got Allen Robinson running a fly route?
I don't. Maybe he was supposed to be made a decoy. I don't know if that ball was ever supposed to go that way. I don't know what's
I'm
going on.
sitting there and I'm like, is that what you wanted him to? I mean, you line him up in the slot, you want him to go up the seam. Okay,
That's
maybe.
probably what it was. Just draw
But
defenders away. That's the
he
whole.
was, but then but if he was supposed to be decoy, then why the fuck you throw it to him then? Like,
Because he's Mitch fucking Trubisky, man. That's why. That's
like,
what he
that's
does.
the whole problem here. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I wanted.
they should have easily had that first down, and it turns into a pick. It should have never happened. Like,
I fell for it too. I wanted them to sign Mitch Trubisky because I saw all the physical
Oh no,
tools. He didn't play
I was
well.
guilty too. When that first happened, I said same thing. Hey, this is the guy.
It's worth a flyer, right? It was worth a flyer. It didn't work out. He's the backup now.
But what's boggling my mind is they're paying him $10 million.
Well, I was just going to bring that up next. You're paying him so much money to be the backup, and he can't get you.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
So I don't know. But look, the problem is that they're going to go so conservative now against the Titans.
He talked about that in the press conference also, how he's like, if we've got young players, we got to take stuff off their plate in a short week and blah, blah, blah. This is going to be Najee up the middle, Najee up the middle, Najee up the middle all game long.
And punts.
Yeah, and punt.
And punts. And punts.
I don't, Dave, honestly, like I said before, this is not enjoyable for me. It's not enjoyable to watch these games. Like, you can lose and be a little entertaining. You can lose and even when they win, it's not entertaining. It's not fun. We brought it up. It's a rock fight. It's a scrum. It's not a football game when they win. It's this is so. I'm not going to go on that tangent again.
No,
you brought up the point.
About
him and the turnovers and how they weren't good enough. That sent me. If I was a defensive player on this team, Dave, I would be freaking furious with him.
Dude,
he does it week after week.
Watt, Highsmith, any of them guys, I'd be like, dude, fuck you.
Right?
Like, are you serious right now? It's our fault? Or we didn't do it better. Like, I'm sorry, we didn't get the turnover good enough for your offense.
It's
my bad.
Crazy.
Like,
it's
dude,
crazy
I'd be like,
he says
fuck out of here. But he does this all the time, though, Dave.
He does it every week in the press conference.
Time there is something bad, he's just like, hammers the defense. And it's like, are you out of your mind? Like, it's not the defense.
If he's trying to deflect so that we forget no one's forgetting about how bad the offense is, no matter how much.
He's deflecting like, dude, and he's nuts. To think we're going to forget, they're chanting fire Matt Canada in Utah. They're in Utah chanting fire Canada.
How did we get
We're not forgetting about this, ever.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have the biggest joke of an offensive coordinator in the history of the NFL. I swear to God. It's so bad, like you said, people are chanting it all over the goddamn place. And he's not. Obviously, now it's too late. I guess you could fire him and maybe somebody calls plays differently, but then they're going to be the same plays. So I don't know how much better it gets. But he's not going to do it, so it's not worth talking.
Just change the fucking routes of your wide receivers.
They're not going to do it.
If you could just do that, at least. And add more play action. Did you see what happened when they added more play action that game? In the game, when they started adding more play action pass, oh my gosh, Dave. They started to look like they could move down the field. And that was the first time that they didn't run under the center 90% of the time.
Yep.
It was like, dude, if you guys would do this more often, so many good things would happen. It's starting to happen because DJ had those 2 drops, but after those 2 drops on the play action, my man was getting open, and he
that
had
first one. How'd you feel about that first one? That was high. I got people push back on me saying that. Yeah, Deontay probably should have caught that, but that's a badly thrown ball. It's a badly thrown ball. He's wide open.
Well, I don't know about badly thrown. Now the ball hit him right in his fingers, Dave. I mean,
yeah, but you're asking him to extend.
I'll put it this way. Do you think that Ja'Marr Chase makes that catch?
Well, I mean, you're talking about the best wide receiver in the league, top 3.
I don't care. I don't care. Does he make that catch?
Probably. Yes, probably.
He does. So,
but you're asking DJ to this is the problem.
Poor DJ. No, that hit him right in the hand.
It's high.
Catch the ball.
And it's over the middle with 2 safeties closing. You know what it's like I know you don't
What
care
is
because
it?
we're on the couch, but he's going to get laid out if he catches that ball. And sometimes they're human, and I get it. You still got to catch the ball, but put the ball on him. It's not that hard to throw. Put the ball on him. Come on. I mean,
I,
seriously.
I mean, you're asking the quarterback to throw 35 yards and have it what? A foot to the left or a foot to the right so poor
No,
DJ can make the
how
catch?
about 2
Like
yards?
I
How
don't
about 2 or 3
understand.
yards shorter than he threw it? Because it's not a good throw, Dave. It's just not a good throw.
That was a
I'm
good throw.
sorry.
That was a good throw.
I'm sorry.
It hit him right here, like right there. He's got to catch that.
In full extension.
And DJ admitted he's got to catch that.
Of course he would. He's not going to say he doesn't because he's a professional wide receiver. He should catch the ball.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't mean the throw.
He should have caught that ball. Now the one where he threw it behind DJ, even if DJ didn't fall down, DJ wasn't catching that ball.
That he was open.
Like 5 feet behind it.
Yeah, it was his fourth or fifth step wide open, and Kenny just doesn't.
Again, but these are clutch plays that don't get made.
Yeah,
they gotta get made. The throw to Pickens was horrendous.
Pickens again, that was a bad one,
and I felt bad for him. They needed to get him more involved. It didn't happen.
No.
But Tomlin today in the press conference, great job to the Jaguars. They really, they really set up to stop George. And no, they didn't. Shut up.
And this is this frustrating thing. Last week, they ran the play where they have 3 wide receivers on one side and they leave George Pickens by himself on the other side, isolating George Pickens to get him open, threw the ball to him, 3 or 4 back shoulder throws, a couple other throws. This game, they did it one time.
Yeah.
Why do you go away from that? It's your best play. George Pickens' back shoulder. It's the best play in the playbook.
Yep.
But they didn't throw it once. That's where you just get frustrated with Canada, and then it spirals from there.
Najee back to looking short, choppy steps and not running.
You know what burns my ass, Dave? Let's don't get you brought it up, so now it's gonna go looking on a tangent. This is your fault. I can't watch Najee Harris and I can't watch Najee Harris and Travis Etienne on the same field. I want to jump off the roof.
I was looking so forward to this because I wanted people to see the difference. They got to see it. My man, Etienne had 80 yards on the ground and was it 70 or 80 in the air, Dave?
And Dave, they caught a break. It was a slippery field. That guy on a good field is even better than you saw.
I'm just saying, all-purpose yards, my man had 160 yards total with one or 2 touchdowns? No receiving touchdown, but there was, I thought, another one on the ground. I can't remember. Anyways, either way, that's a first-round running back. Yes. Just in case anybody wasn't sure that, Najee really is the best back out of it. No.
Najee had 40 yards of all-purpose yards. Don't worry. He had 40-something yards of all-purpose. I can't. I don't even want to think about it.
No.
Imagine this team with Travis Etienne at running back.
I'm just saying everybody got a chance to see it. Etienne was a first-round running back. That's your first-round running back. And for the record, the Steelers passed on him.
Passed on him big time. All right. Dave and I have a little disagreement on the value of DeAndre Hopkins right now. But I'll tell you one thing. Mike Tomlin is firmly on Dave's side. He loves himself some DeAndre Hopkins. He gushed about him on the press conference.
About DeAndre Hopkins.
If there's a trade that's made, he's not going to cost much, I wouldn't think, in terms of draft capital. You might see DeAndre Hopkins come Tuesday on the Steelers. It's possible. It's possible.
Oh, is it Tuesday? I thought you said it was the 31st.
I'm sorry, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. What did I say?
Tomorrow, yeah. Okay, you might have said Tuesday. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said
Tuesday's the 31st, right?
Yep, you're right.
Yep. So
look, man.
It's possible.
I tried to tell you. I told you. It's the quarterback play. Tannehill is a shadow of himself. Willis, that guy ain't it.
No.
He's had nobody throwing to him. Nobody.
Yep. You're right. 100%
He finally got a quarterback with a rocket arm. And, I mean, it was like gaslighting him. Like, he just on fire. Because I don't think Hopkins had a touchdown the whole season until yesterday. He just blew up. Because he had a guy throwing the ball 50-yard bombs to him. Dude, I'm telling you, if they could, and like you said, D-Hop's not going to cost a lot. He shouldn't. If they could get him and you add him to that lineup with DJ and Pickens, man, like
I'm starting to come around on your way of thinking. He'd be a great possession guy for Kenny Pickett. He gets open. You could say what you want about DeAndre Hopkins. He gets open.
Yeah.
And he catches everything. And Kenny Pickett needs somebody who catches everything because we know I just talked about his inaccuracies. So a guy like that would do him good. I mean, anything's an upgrade over Allen Robinson.
It just occurred to me. If you put him outside and you bump DJ inside with his route running eliteness, he would kill the slot corner or a linebacker that poor linebacker got to cover him. There'd be no chance, Dave.
Here's 2 points to that. And I just thought of it as you mentioned it. A, the Steelers asked their slot receiver to block so much, and Deontay Johnson isn't that guy.
Oh, no. That shouldn't happen.
DeAndre Hopkins at his age is going to tell the Steelers, go F yourself. I'm not blocking defensive ends on your running game. If so, they'd either have to change the way they use a slot receiver if they acquired DeAndre Hopkins, or I don't know, not acquire him, because he's not going to be he's going to tell Tomlin to go pound sand.
Well, the thing about it is that effectively with the three mentioned, none of those guys are slot wide receiver.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could use DeAndre in the slot if you use him as a receiver.
That's what I'm saying. I would do it with DJ because I think it'd be the biggest mismatch because of his elite route running. But I'm just saying, like, if they go and get this guy, I mean, that's a shot in the arm for the offense. Now, mind you,
it needs it.
Who's throwing the ball to him? Is Kenny gonna come off this rib injury and maybe get better? Maybe I did see something that showed from week 3 through 7, Kenny was top 12 quarterback in the league, rated wise.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I
don't see that at all, bro.
I don't know. When I watch these other quarterbacks, same draft as him or the draft after him, I don't see it. I just don't see this guy being the guy. I wish it was. I mean, I spent a first round draft pick on him. You really want to hope he is. But man, I don't know. It's great if you're that kind of guy that's got ice in your veins and you can lead comebacks, but you got to be good 4 quarters. Yeah, if you're a legit first round quarterback, you got to be good for 4 quarters, man. Like
you can't rely on the other team screwing up and turning the ball over 3-4 times to keep you in the game while you're trying to get yourself going. And then all of a sudden you get a drive and you're the fourth quarter guy.
We're talking 20 games now, I believe, with him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's been brutal, bro.
Because I'll ask a question right here. After Ben's first year, did we know Ben was legit? Yeah, we did. I hate to compare. I know that I know I'm going to hear all the pit people. Oh, that's a different situation. Blah 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 blah. I don't give a shit. 20 games in, not great. And when I remember Ben, his rookie season, when I think of all these other guys that've been drafted, and I've been seeing them and what they're doing and lighting it up, dude. And you can blame the offense all you want. That's fine. But Kenny's one of those layers that's the problem with this offense. He just is.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm all the way out on Kenny Pickett, dude. He's an average quarterback.
Yeah. I don't think he's anything we'd hoped he'd be. I don't think he's going to be like one of the worst. I just think he's a middle of the road quarterback. Yep. That's what he's going to be. Do I think if they, like I told you, if they would utilize his legs more, then I think he would take a next step. But they're not going to. They're not going to because they're scared to death he's going to get killed. So until then,
Well, we've talked about it a million times on this podcast. He doesn't do anything elite. He doesn't have elite arm strength. He's not an elite processor. We thought his accuracy was close to elite, but that's been struggling lately. He's a good athlete, not a great one. He's not elite, but he's not bad.
Scared death in the pocket.
There's nothing there that says screams elite. Yeah, he's becoming.
He went back to his little spinneroonie thing again yesterday, and here we are.
That's the other thing, Dave. JT O'Sullivan brought up is bailing on clean pockets in that Rams game. He does it a lot. He's like, why is he moving? Why is he moving?
Failure to step up in the pocket. Yeah. Failure to pick up yardage on your legs whenever the pocket's starting collapsing. You don't get to see it. Like they don't. I don't know if he's not allowed. I don't know what it is. Yeah. So I do worry that we're just never going to see him take that next step. And that's the problem. That's another layer. The layers are the running back situation, the quarterback situation, and definitely the O-line situation.
It's all three together. 1 week, one will do well,
on
and then
top of that, and all that sprinkled on the Matt Canada bullshit. Like, this is not going to be a successful offense no matter what. And we can use Canada as a scapegoat for all these players being mediocre. But it's just
then again, Dave, that call in the first play of the game, Deontay's wide open. If he catches we can debate with a throw with a catch. That's a great call. That's a 40-yard gain.
Yeah.
And down the middle. Maybe they're afraid that Kenny's not accurate down the middle, or maybe they're afraid DJ won't extend. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like we dump too much on Matt Canada. There's been some good play calls the last couple of games. It's just there's so many layers of bad. We don't know where to point the finger. We don't know where to point the finger because it's
because that's kind of how I felt yesterday too. Like yesterday, I was almost like, well, this stuff's not Canada's fault. This is just players not playing well.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can't I get it. They put up 10 points, really bad. Got it. Well, Trubisky throws a pick, almost 2 picks.
Yep.
Like and that's now the argument could be, well, what about the one where they drove down the field and scored a touchdown? Okay, but at the same time, you can't do turnovers because that's not going to do well for your offense either. When you get the ball, hit the fucking hole. Don't try to take it outside, and then you get killed by 3 guys that are out there ready to seal the edge anyways. That's why it's mind-boggling what I see. Offensive line, you're letting your quarterback get fucking killed because you and the running back don't know what your assigned fucking block is. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, yeah. By the way, Chooks, he's no more playing average. He's getting worse every game. Have you noticed that? Just getting a little worse and a little worse. And it's just like, dude.
With Chooks, it's competition, dude. The Rams didn't really have anybody to rush, so he was okay. The Jaguars don't have elite rushers, but they're pretty good, and he didn't have a good game. He just didn't. He's like Kenny Pickett. He's barely average. So when he goes up against tough competition, he doesn't play well. It's the same with Dan Moore. Mason Cole's bad all the time.
Yeah.
And he had a pretty good game last week, and he went right back to his old self again this week. I don't know anymore. Let's wrap up this Tomlin press conference. The injuries. Looks like they dodged a couple bullets. Kenny Pickett might play, but at the very least, I think he plays 2 weeks from now. If it wasn't a Thursday night game this week, he probably definitely plays. Minka seems like he's not out for the season, like we feared. We don't know what his status is yet, but it's starting to sound like at least decent news that he only might miss a few weeks. DeMonte Casey's hurt now, so he might not play on Thursday night. That's bad because now we're talking Miles Killebrew at safety. Whew, Dave.
Dude, when I saw him in there yesterday, I'm like, wow, this is bad. Like, that guy hasn't played,
Yeah, he doesn't play
years.
Defense.
I was like, this is really bad. Like, you had to sink to that.
He's good at his role.
He's a great special teams guy.
Exactly.
But holy shit, when you've got him out there playing defense, this is dire straits.
On the good news, it sounds like Cam Hayward's on the verge of coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe this Thursday, Tomlin said, but probably definitely by the following week.
Well, if they can bring him back, they're going to need it this. I mean, look.
Yeah.
King Henry and that Spears kid.
Yeah.
They're no joke. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is Henry what he was like a couple years ago?
He's still pretty good.
But he's got enough left in the tank there.
Yeah, he's still pretty good.
So, dude, if Cam could come back, please come back.
Yeah.
I would love a line of Cam, Keanu Benton, and Ogunjobi. Yeah. I would love it. But I'll tell you what, Adams has turned it around for me. Like I saw Adams, he made a couple nice plays yesterday.
Adams played very well.
He's definitely playing a lot better. So, any mix of those 4, Leal a little bit, but having Cam, Keanu Benton, and Ogunjobi out there, that would make me feel better about stopping the run. It really would.
Tomlin finally, what is it? We are week 7. Yeah. Finally admitted Joey Porter Jr. is a starting corner on this team.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
My man is stubborn. Like he
Well,
is
look,
stubborn.
yeah, it's so stupid. Like I got the where's that? I got the freaking coverage grades. You ready for this?
Yeah, give it to
If
us.
there was any doubt whatsoever that Joey Porter Jr. should be the starting corner of his team, here are the coverage grades, guys. Minka had a 65. Joey Porter Jr. 82. 82.
This is
Demonte
PFF
Casey,
grades, right?
Demonte Casey, 48. James Pierre, a 36. Miles Kilbrew, 49, 10 snaps. 9 snaps for Pierre, by the way. Chan Sullivan, a 47. Patrick Peterson, 55. And Keanu, 58.
I said I saw those
50s
numbers.
or worse for
Yeah.
everyone that's not named Minka and Joey Porter Jr. And
Keanu got a
82 for
58.
Joey Porter Jr. Dave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's, dude, what were they waiting for? Like, it's just incredible to me.
Yeah, and it's that old argument. Well, he doesn't tackle. Well, neither does Patrick Peterson or Levi
None
Wallace.
of them.
Neither of them tackle.
Okay,
So what's the point?
My point is this:
I'm
at
so-
least he can touch the guy. The rest of them can't even touch him because they're dusted by 5 yards at least. Like
It's
it doesn't matter. They can't keep up with these guys, dude. Patrick Peterson gave up 2 first downs to Ingram, and these were crucial third downs. He had no business being on that guy.
Yep.
And
well,
got
they don't have anybody
annihilated.
else. Shannon Sullivan is just as bad. If you're going to put him on,
Yes.
yeah.
They're all back. Yeah, it's all back.
All right. Last thing from Mike Tomlin, and this will lead us into our next subject. They asked him if to expect any trades. I don't know the exact quote for the question, but he said, "We're always open for business." So, trade deadline's Tuesday. We talked about it, which is tomorrow. Do you expect them to do anything? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he said that. When they asked me, like, we're open for business. Like I took that as we're not the aggressors here. If somebody wants to contact us, we'll talk. That's how I kind of took that. And I was kind of like, I didn't like that. That sounded more like if somebody contacts us, we'll listen to their offer. I didn't like that. But I mean, is he really going to say, "Oh yeah, we're actively going and look"? I don't know. But honestly, dude, with Minka hurt, KZ hurt, then about 3 or 4 of them shouldn't be on the football field in the first place. I really think they should take a shot at getting a strong safety. I really
so?
A rental. I would go after a rental. It's not going to cost as much, anywhere between we'll say a 5th to a 7th, right? For a rental. There are guys out there they could go get. High end, mind you, which is going to cost a lot. Budda Baker's there.
Yeah. He's very available. Yeah. I like him. I don't know what that would cost you. His contract's pretty high, right?
It's $14.5 million.
Yeah. You might be able to get away with a 4th or 5th round pick for him too.
Yeah. I might have the free agent pull up. It's $14.7 million.
He's a free agent next year?
Yes.
Okay.
When it comes to rentals, I don't think it'd be that. I don't think it costs that much. No. The guy I'm looking at, though, honestly, is Antoine Winfield Jr. from Tampa Bay. His contract's low, dude. It's real low. It was like 1-point-something million, I think I saw. 1.8 million. Free agent, 1.8 million. Tampa Bay. You think they're really trying to go for it this year? I don't.
The NFC South is so bad. I don't know if they'd make a trade.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
got a shot at the
Antoine,
playoffs.
Guess what grade he grades out? Winfield Jr. 88.
Yeah, maybe they don't trade him because he's playing so well.
88 grade, 1.8 mil contract. He's 25 years old, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be available. Sounds too good to be true, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Like you said, he's a free agent at the end of the season. So
he's a free agent. He's a rental. It's low costing. I'd go get that man right now. That's just me personally. But there's other names on here of free agents. But, I mean, if you want to go from high end to low end, Budda Baker's $14.7 million and Antoine Winfield Jr. is $1.8 million. So
Budda Baker intrigues me a little bit. He's a pretty good. I've always liked him.
Yeah, dude, Budda Baker's legit. But I'm just saying, cap space wise, do they have?
It's prorated now, right? Because it's
true.
It's $14 million, but they've played 7 games, so it's a little more than half.
Good point. Yeah, but still,
Um,
that's still going to be quite the hit. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
they
know what
always
they
have
could do.
Dave. They always have the bank of TJ. They never restructured his contract. They can restructure it
They
and
could.
make a lot of space for whatever
They
they
could.
need. Really,
Uh,
the point. Go ahead, finish
but
up.
there's other ones like Jordan Whitehead, uh,
Yeah,
5.2 mil. Uh, let's see here. Eric Murray. No, just name a couple to me that look like guys that they could go after if they wanted to go after somebody that is a rental. It's not going to cost. It's not going to cost them a high draft picks. Go get him.
yeah.
Like, go get that guy, because right now, because here's why I look at it. So you said on Twitter or X, whatever, you said that if you were them, you would sell.
I
Now,
think I
mind
would.
you, coming off a very emotional game, do you still feel that
I
way, or
still feel that way. I
you
still
still
feel
feel
that way.
okay? So here's the thing. So I don't blame you for feeling that way. When I look at all this, when I look at the poor QB play, the poor running back play, the poor O line play, the poor safety play, and the poor corner play, minus Joey Porter Jr. and Minka. Yeah, like I could see where you're at with this. I really could. But then I go back and I think to myself, Mike Tomlin's not going to give up on the season. He
No,
didn't give
well,
up when
I
they were
said
2-7.
that.
And you
I said
did.
that in the
You
tweet
did.
as well. I'm
You
like,
did.
they're not going to do
No,
it.
no, you're right. You did. I'm just saying in general, they were 2-7 last year, or 2-6, and he still went for it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
At 4-3, they're still going to go for it. So here's my thing.
Absolutely.
My thing is that if you're going to go for it, then you need to fix this. If you're so worried about the defense and it being whatever, then you need to go get a guy to plug in a strong safety. Go get one. You've got till tomorrow night. Make it happen.
Well, here's my argument. Now with Minka hurt, it scares me.
Dude,
When Minka was healthy, then my argument was go get an elite corner, make this defense really, really, really good, like top notch. Now with Minka out for who knows? I've heard rumors 4 to 6 weeks. If he's out 4 weeks, man, how much? What's their record going to be after? I think they can. We'll preview the Titans game on another day, but I think they can beat the Titans because a rookie quarterback on a short week.
yeah,
It's in Pittsburgh. It's on the road.
They can beat the Titans, but after what I saw the other day, it doesn't match up well. But I'm just saying, you're all right. They have a couple winning games coming up to build a little bit of a lead here before they start facing these other teams. But my point that is go get a guy to be there while Minka's not there.
Yeah.
And then when Minka comes back, bro, you've got a great strong safety and a free safety ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I've heard rumors of Justin Simmons.
Mind you, I'm not going to forget that the corner situation is not great either.
Well, that's the problem. You can have all the safeties in the world if your corners are this bad.
Right. So, hey, like really, I would love to see them go get D-Hop, Antoine Winfield Jr., and a corner that's not going to kill them when it comes to picks. Because, I mean, like I said,
it's a lot to do in one trade deadline.
This brings up the other thing we talked about. So you see now why I don't want to trade for Patrick Surtain? We got to use that first round draft pick to go get a couple things.
Well, what are those couple things? They're not getting a quarterback. That's off the table.
We'll see.
Off the table, Dave. Dave,
I know.
Listen,
I know
I'd be happy.
I'd
be shocked if they drafted a quarterback.
I'd be shocked too.
So,
and
what do they use a first round pick on? A corner? Patrick Surtain's better than any first round corner they're going to draft this year. Maybe that guy might be better in the long run.
All right, I don't want to get off on a tangent on this thing with quarterbacks and stuff, but anyways, I'm just saying, like, they need to make these moves if they have any hope, any aspiration to keep winning and actually make the playoffs. They better go get somebody, because that secondary, now that Minka's hurt, is it's
tough because we need to know Minka's status, because if he's out 6 to 8 weeks.
But see, that's why it's horrible timing. It's happened right towards the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And so they can't get a determination on,
they'll have an idea by tomorrow, I think. By tomorrow, with the X-rays or whatever they're going to do to his hamstring, to see if the prognosis is 6 to 8. I mean, just if you're not gonna sell, then just stand pat. Don't waste picks. Don't waste our time. Just if Minka is the leading tackler on this team and the best player in the secondary.
Yes.
If he's not there, they're done.
What I'm saying is that you get someone to fill that spot. And then when he comes back, now you have two really good players at those positions. That's
No,
my
I get
point.
what you're saying, but it's like if it's 6 to 8 weeks, bro.
Yeah, but comes back in time for the playoffs if you make it.
Dave's feeling optimistic today. No, I like this. Did you not see
Well,
Kenny Pickett play yesterday?
Here's the thing, Dave. Okay, last year they were 2-6, 2-7, whatever, and ended up going 9-8, bro. And their schedule's supposed to be better for them this year. That's why I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not quite with where you're at, where it's time to give up. I'm more of a give up a fifth, sixth, or seventh, and grab some of these guys that are going to be rentals, fill those spots. Because obviously, yesterday you saw these guys just ain't it. Now, mind you, it was, when you lose a player like Minka and you don't scheme or prepare for it, it's going to throw it's going to throw the guys off. So, could this team
there's a little bit of
scheme a little better, be more prepared for the Titans, and maybe KZ and, well, I don't know about Keanu Neal, but and I know Pat P's done, but maybe they play a little better. Yeah. I do think there was probably some confusion yesterday, just like
sure. But we've seen these guys play bad with Minka,
right?
So we know who they are.
I just think that they should go if they want to be competitive still, which Tomlin is, and I know it. Then go get some guys, just don't give up the house for them. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, we said this long time ago, that this team is still 1 to 2 drafts away from being true Super Bowl contenders. Remember? We said that.
Yeah, but that's when we thought Kenny Pickett was had promise. Now,
but now it solidifies it that they are definitely at least 1 to 2 drafts away from being Super Bowl contenders. But if they legit want to make a run at the playoffs, then go get some guys. Go get some rentals. Let's go. I don't know. I love deadline day. I want to see some exciting things happen.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I'm at this point now. I'm conflicted on where they go. You're right. They're going to probably need to go get no matter what. They're going to need to go get a safety. If they think if they want to be competitive, they got to go get somebody to. But then, and I don't think they're going to make more than 1 or 2 moves. You're right. They probably need to make 3 trades. But then,
yeah. Oh yeah.
If
I'm the Steelers, I'm getting another playmaker on offense, and I'm fixing that secondary. There ain't no doubt in my mind. You could argue O-line too, dude.
Yeah, you can,
we could argue O-line as well.
Just too much to fix.
Yeah,
and there's only so many 5th and 6th round picks you can trade too. I mean,
well, the thing about the O-line is they could fix some of that on the run. They could easily slide JD over to the center, plug in Nate at right guard,
or fire Pat Meyer and start over,
or that, and play Broderick Jones, maybe give Moore a shot at right tackle and sit Chuk's ass on the bench. Those are internal moves they can make to help that O-line, but they're not going to do it. So
it's common sense moves, and I agree with everything you say, but it's just they're not going to do it. So if you only had to choose one, is it a safety, a corner, or a wide receiver at the deadline?
I'm going to go with a corner.
Yeah, I'd probably go corner too. Because I think if you got a decent corner to pair with Joey Porter, maybe you could fake it with Miles Killebrew or even move Patrick Peterson to safety for a couple of games.
Right.
You could probably fake it, get away with it, but you could get Minka 2.0, and if those corners can't cover, you're still screwed. So I think a middle of the road to good corner just to solidify the position.
Yeah.
Just to get that solidified. I'm not going to get my dream of Surtain or a big time guy. Give me somebody that can, not embarrass himself.
Because my problem is when you don't have Minka, right? You literally have half of the field cut off where you're in trouble because you only have one Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah.
So if you can get that other shutdown corner or a corner that's higher tier than Wallace or Patrick Peterson, I would feel better about that. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's tough because anybody with a good corner doesn't want to trade him. So it's tough.
Dude, did Darius Rush get a helmet?
He did, but he didn't play. Man, I don't know if I didn't see the snap counts.
Give him, out of all that debacle, they didn't give that kid one damn chance. Not
Yeah,
one.
they only gave him a helmet in case, a corner got injured. Then at least they had a body. They weren't going to play. I had to kind of figure that. Um, Anything else about the game? I mean, the linebackers played good again. I'm really impressed with these
The
linebackers, dude.
linebackers have done well.
If you're looking for a ray of sunshine in this team, the
Yeah,
linebackers have played.
yeah.
Holcomb made a great play in that game.
TJ, they schemed to take TJ out of the game. Basically, he had 3 pressures, I believe.
He
Alex
had a sack,
Highsmith
right?
was quiet. I'm
Half
sorry,
a
what was that?
sack. He had a half a sack, right? TJ.
It might have been a half a sack, I think.
Yeah,
I
because
can't remember. Well, there was
he got
that one
to
where they were near the
yeah.
goal line. I can't remember if they gave that to him or not.
He had one where he got there about the same time as
Okay. And I don't think Highsmith did anything either, did he?
I think he had half a sack too.
A half. Okay.
Wasn't it a Landon Roberts who had a sack and a half or something in that game?
Yeah.
Didn't I see that?
One of the linebackers had a really good
I think
game.
it was a Landon Roberts.
Yeah.
He's not great. I like him too. And I like Alexander played well. I like this linebacking core, Dave.
After these years of dealing with Spillane and Bush,
I know.
Like, yeah.
I know.
Like when you see guys that actually make plays and tackles, you're just like, oh, this is great. But yeah, no, I don't know. That game there's just so many different things that contributed to the 2010 loss. Like I
obviously the officiating was horrendous. You can't, we said it earlier. You can't blame the game on officiating, but it did not help. Obviously,
no, it did not.
I think DJ had 85 yards receiving. He's good. He makes some dumb play sometimes. He doesn't catch balls he should. I'll give you that for sure. But he's so freaking good. If you have
the touchdown by Pickens though was amazing. Did you see they said play. The success rate of a touchdown that was like 5%, and he did it?
Yeah, that's him.
That's also, and I think we hit on this a little bit earlier, but yeah, the not getting him more involved some way, scheming some way, or in-game scheming. Maybe Matt Kent doesn't know this. There is such thing as in-game scheming to maybe get more involved. I don't know, but yeah, no, they have to get Pickens more involved. Find ways, and it almost feels like Kenny loves DJ. Like I almost feel like as soon as he came back,
connection there. There's a connection.
There's that connection there, and he feels it's a comfortability or something.
Well, when you've been throwing Allen Robinson on the other side for 4 weeks, that anybody would look good at that point. Or Calvin Austin again.
You just read my mind.
Show again.
Bring up too. Austin I don't know, dude. He's not doing shit. I thought that he may be trouble as that third wide receiver in the slot, and he hasn't been anything.
No, he had a first.
He had a couple preseason. He had a first down, I think.
He had a big touchdown jet sweep,
and he had one more catch. But he's not doing anything that we had hoped that he would do.
No, it makes you think that wide receiver is up there for trade deadline too. Tight ends, they do not throw the ball to anybody, any tight ends. They don't target any tight ends. It's
bro. I'm sorry. Darnell Washington cannot be this bad to where they won't even give him one passing attempt in a game. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah. We can't give the guy a shot. We can't give him a shot. I'd have to look it up. But just for example, if say the Titans are not very good against tight ends, if tight ends give them trouble, let this guy have a game. Give him a shot.
Oh, Dave, I've given up on them.
I don't get it.
Stuff like that.
It's all right. I know that Mark Caboli's going to get on here and go, you guys don't know what you're talking about. He's horrible in practice or whatever the fuck. Whatever. Give the guy a shot. You drafted him.
Yeah.
I've seen the highlight reels of what this guy did in college. Give him a shot. How do you know what you got if you don't give him a shot?
I was just going to say that. You don't know until you try, and they haven't tried. What else from this game? Presley Harvin, dude. What is he still doing?
I know.
What are we doing?
We definitely went backwards with him, huh?
So inconsistent. It's like, come on. They have no return game whatsoever. This Igwebuike kid, he's okay, but man,
I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name.
Yeah, it's tough.
Why he's back there and they don't let Calvin Austin
return kicks too.
That's one of the things I thought he was good at. It looked like he was good at that.
I don't know.
And again, they don't utilize what guys are good at, man. What are we doing here? So yeah, I don't know, dude. I
Yeah.
don't well, McFarland might be back this coming game.
Yes.
Tomlin did bring that up too.
Hopefully.
So
Hopefully.
if you get McFarland, but again, dude, I would have McFarland and Calvin Austin a third back there. Like,
Yeah.
there's no doubt in my mind. But
so we
I don't
talked
know.
about giving grades for we're going to do grades for position groups, but it was just such a bad game. Is there any, I guess, linebackers position group you give a passing grade to?
Linebackers, I would give a decent grade to. I mean, a B minus or a C, something like that, I guess. But the rest of these groups, good Lord.
Yeah, it's like we're negative enough. We start throwing out F's all over the place.
Yeah, it's like you just put the letter F and then list all the whole team down on it, except for linebackers, really.
I mean, even Jaylen Warren didn't have a great game. Neither one of them rushed for much. I wrote it down here.
Dude, just the running backs didn't do well. Quarterbacks.
Warren was 5 for 19.
Well, you know what? Could you give the wide receivers a better grade than an F? I could give the wide receivers.
Oh yeah.
I would say that I'd give them like a C. Maybe a B. I don't know. The drops by Deontay kind of hurt that a little bit.
But, yeah, that might hurt that a little bit.
But yeah, no. I guess the wide receiver group and the linebacker group was good, plausible. I guess we'll say. Yeah, and that's really it. Everybody else is like a D or an F.
Yeah, so it's almost too depressing to even give out.
I mean,
grades.
The D line did okay. I didn't think D line was bad.
I guess you could give the D line some good, like you said. Yeah, I guess they definitely wouldn't get an F.
No,
for sure.
No, but yeah, no. I mean, it was bad. It was all around bad coaching.
Montravius Adams was good.
Bad. What's that?
Montravius Adams was good.
Adams is good. Ogunjobi, I thought. Did he?
Yeah, he didn't do
I don't remember. I don't recall him doing much. Yeah. I didn't hear Ben do much either.
Benton
really
didn't stick out much either.
But
yeah, so
yeah, so it was rough.
Cornerbacks F minus.
So when do you want to do the next pod? Did you want to do it Thursday before the game? It's a Thursday game, so we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do.
Maybe Wednesday afternoon.
What's that?
You do early Wednesday? We could do an early Wednesday one.
I have no job, so yes.
Yeah, we'll try to do early Wednesday. Do a preview of the game. See where we're at with this team. Maybe they've made a trade, especially if if they make a big trade, maybe we'll come on tomorrow night and talk about it.
Yeah.
You never know. They might pull off one or two trades that would be worth talking about. We'll see. I think we've beaten this to death. You got any other positive things? I mean, the game itself.
The positive thing is we have a game this quick to forget about this past game.
Yeah,
that's a positive. That it's at home again, facing a rookie quarterback. He's only had one start.
Short week for him.
Usually our record against rookie quarterbacks is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that that should help. But we'll see. I mean, the Titans until yesterday, they have had their struggles too. They haven't been like this.
No, it's not a good football team.
They've been a great team. They're a team that was in decline until Levis decided to show up. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Let's not forget Atlanta Falcons. They beat the Atlanta Falcons. Not exactly a superstar team either. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. All right, you can follow me on X at SteelerSank16. Follow us on YouTube. We're on YouTube Live right now at the Steeler Sanctuary channel. Email the show at daver@steelersanctuary.com. Dave, give me your stuff and let's get out of here.
Yep, you can find me on X at DMC3SSP. I'm on TikTok Live as we speak right now at Steeler Sanctuary Podcast or at SteelSancPod. Don't forget, if you like betting on sports books, just go to my site at signupexpert.com/nothingness.
All right. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Steeler Sanctuary Podcast.
All right, guys. Look, appreciate y'all watching. I'm out. Later. TikTok was acting up, man.
Yeah. I gotta figure out how to stop the
It kept saying connection lost and shit. I'm like, the fuck?
I gotta make sure YouTube's off before
Yeah, it didn't even take me to the results. It just blooped out of it. The fuck?
We had up to 5 or 6 people on YouTube watching us at one
Watching.
point.
Nice. Oh
So
man, we had 441 views
on TikTok. Nice,
dude. That's 95 up. That's
nice.
95 more. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dude, jump on YouTube. Make sure we're not. I think I stopped it, but I'm not.
We're gonna have another one of those where, and we're live still on YouTube. Let me find YouTube. All right. Oh, what the fuck.
I couldn't even find us at first. I was having a hell of a time.
Another one of those. And we're live still. And we are. We're still live. Let me find YouTube.
How in the world do I stop this now?
Did you see Tanner Myers is on here talking about just join must be late if we're talking rays of sun sign? And we're live still. And we are. We're still live.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna go back to YouTube and try to.
All right. Did you see Tanner Myers on here talking about just join must be late if we're talking rays of sun sign? And we're live still. And we are. We're still live. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go back to YouTube. All right. Did you see Tanner Myers on here talking about just join must be late if we're talking rays of sun sign? And we're live still. And we are. We're still live.
Is it still going?
Yep. You could just kill it all together and then be done with it.
I'm trying. It's still going.
You could just kill it all together and then be done with it.
I'm trying.
Hey, we got 2 viewers right now. Maybe we just keep going, Dave. Want to talk all night?
Oh, this is ridiculous. There's no stop button on this thing.
You could just end, like, cut it.
If I guess if I end
cut the Zoom feed,
right.
and we'll be good.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Viewers right now. Maybe we just start.